Oh, it's been a long old wait over the summer for football to return, but it's back this Saturday at Loftus Road as West Brom visit, and we are doing all the reviews of QPR season, and it's going to be a massive one. This is Terrace Talk, and this is where Rangers walk. Welcome back, Jawad. It is good to have you back on the channel. You've had a good summer after a turbulent season last season. How are you? Well rested and up for it?
Yeah, I still feel a bit footballed out from the Euros and the Olympic football I've been watching too. So it's kind of seems to have come around quickly, even though it seems like a late start date.
We've got a lot of football to talk about, and we have gathered alongside Jawad this year some heavyweights from QPR social media. So not one, not two, not three, but four additional QPR fans to guide us through this season. Thank you all very much for joining Terrace Talk. This is a big one for QPR, and just to set the record straight, we are the biggest fans of Marty on this channel, and we'll have no bad words said about him. So, moving straight into it, welcome Connor, CJ, Charlie, and Michael to Where Rangers Walk. Jawad, of course, we're going to start with you. You lived and breathed every single minute of last season with us. How's the feeling around the club this summer? Marty's first pre-season. Going to have no relegation worries, are we, this year?
Um, it's hard to be optimistic as a QPR fan after those last few seasons. I think we'll be okay. I think the goal scoring issue is still a concern, and I think if you're not scoring goals, you're not going to possibly be as high as you want. But I think we might be a bit more comfortable than we were last season.
Cheers for that, Jared. Connor, I'll come to you next. Brighton were after a manager, Leicester after a manager. Were you surprised that Marty is still with you? Were you expecting at the end of the season to have more interest in your amazing manager?
To be honest, I didn't ever think he'll leave. I think he knows there's a project going on. There's always going to be interest. We've had that before in other managers. I think he probably knows about what happened in the past with us, and I think he really believes in what's going on at the club, and I think he's getting backed. Might not be everyone he wants yet, but there's certainly a feeling that we're going to get a couple more in and support him as much as we can.
Yeah, he's a proper class act, isn't he? CJ, there's been some departures, obviously, from the club. I just want to touch on a couple of them with you, if that's okay. First of all, Chris Willett, 144 appearances for the Hoops. No agreement was struck. What's your take on what happened there, and has that been the one mistake or one regret of the summer for QPR?
I wouldn't say. I think for the most part, probably not a regret. I think it's just the story of QPR really, that we keep getting these players. We have these good players, and then they just don't sign on, and then we have to ship them for free. So, yeah, if he at the end of the day, if he didn't want to be at the club, then good riddance, and we move on.
Yeah, Nuri said it was to protect the economic kind of interest of the club, which I think is, read between the lines, is he's a greedy bugger who wanted more money than we could afford. Did you understand that as the same lines?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think his performance has warranted an increase in pay, if I'm honest, from last season. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, okay. Charlie, Bristol City have been on and wanted to pass on their thanks for Armstrong, who they are delighted with, and his performances of so far have been excellent. Was that one you were disappointed to see go as well, or not?
Not really, to be honest. I know a lot of QPR fans really liked him because he's a very passionate player, but I think it was around 2.5 million we got for him, which, I mean, considering he only scored, I think it was 3 goals last season in the league. I don't think you can complain for 2.5 million. So I wasn't too upset about it. No.
Michael, were there any outgoings that you were disappointed didn't get a new contract, or players that you thought, we've missed the boat there? It sounds like, from what you're saying, that actually everyone who's gone, you're not going to be missed.
I'll be honest. I really like what Nori's doing. I feel like he's making smart decisions in the best interest of QPR. And I feel like the signings that we've made, obviously we're one or two short, but I think the goalkeeper we've brought in, obviously Varane and Salah, I think are good options, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they get on in the season.
Yeah, when I saw the headline QPR signed Varane, I did have to just do a double take. It wasn't not the Varane, is it? Jawad, coming back to you, tell us about Salah then. This amazing striker who everyone's heard of in Europe.
I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about him when he signed. I saw him play against Reading the other weekend, and I'll be honest, his touch looked really good. He looked like he can link play better than the players that we have already. I think it will take him a few games to get into the kind of pace of the game, but I think the early signs are that he's going to be a neat and tidy player that will be able to link with players like Chair. And we just hope he can score 15 goals maybe in his first season, which is going to be a big ask. But if he does fire, then I think we'll have a pretty good season, I would have thought.
Yeah, okay, good. If Chair doesn't end in prison before that, of course. Connor, talk to us how pre-season's gone then. Obviously, I haven't watched any of you. Yeah, sorry, yeah. QPR's the last joke, mate. It's not funny, obviously. QPR, I haven't watched any of QPR's games as a neutral. I've been busy watching Everton be rubbish as usual. But tell us how QPR have done in the pre-season games. Is he trying to do anything different in his style of play or formations, or is this classic Marty?
Certainly, there's been a lot of work off the ball, the pressing. I think someone had an interview. I think one of the goalkeepers. No, when they were in Girona, one of the goalkeepers would talk about what they were doing, even set pieces, positioning wise. All those things are being worked on. I think it's more off the ball they've done their work, which is important. Because I think we conceded a lot of really stupid goals last year, even under Marty. But he did manage to set us up in a way which I felt got us over the line. We weren't scoring many goals, but we were nicking it, and that's what you need when you're in that sort of relegation battle. But I think with the players that are coming in now and whatever, it's been difficult the last couple of games. I haven't really been interested in us winning it. I don't think pre-season's about that. And I know people are concerned about the lack of goals, but I think that's been an issue for how many years now, because we haven't had a proper centre forward. But I think you've got to trust the recruitment. I think there is still more players to come in. And I think we've actually faced some tough tests. Tottenham and Brighton in particular, two top Premier League teams, the way they play. And actually, I think Tottenham, even in the second half, their youngsters versus our youngsters, we looked like we were a lot better than them, I'll be honest with you. So I'm actually really excited about some of the young players which are coming through as well. And that's going to be a big part of what Marty does. He did it at Hammarby, so he'll definitely do it here. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the season. And it's good that pre-season's out the way now and we get started on the real thing.
Okay. CJ, I've seen some predictions put QPR as high as 8th. I've seen them be predicted as low as 18th. I think that just sums up that no one knows exactly what's going to happen this season. But are you surprised that you've still got pundits predicting you to be in a relegation fight?
Yeah, yes and no. I think obviously history of the last few seasons is outside looking in, people probably don't know too much about the project that we've got going on and would have us down there. But I think obviously as QPR fans, we know what Marty's doing, what Nuri's doing, and where the club's going. So I personally see us. I'm not going to be too optimistic and say playoffs, although obviously fingers crossed for playoffs. I think we'll probably be lower top half of the table.
Yeah. I'm going 9th or 10th myself. I think this is going to be a season of no worries. It's going to be a very boring chat on here. It's going to be a nice mid-table season. Okay, let's talk about West Brom then, shall we? Charlie, when you looked at the fixtures when they came out in June, is West Brom at home a fixture that you were happy to get out of the way with, or you see this as a chance of 3 points on the board?
No, not sure about the 3 points. I know. I think West Brom look quite good. Carlos Corberán, obviously one of the better managers in the Championship, so I'm not too optimistic going into the weekend. But thankfully it wasn't one of the title challenges, so I'm not too upset about it. But
Right,
great.
let's see what sort of shape then the Baggies are in. Let's get our Baggies fan in to give you the lowdown on all things Boing Boing. Welcome, Aaron, to the Rangers Walk. Looking forward to your trip to Loftus Road on Saturday?
I am actually. I think there's a lot of potential here for Albion to get a good result at least. We haven't done too well in pre-season, but we didn't do too well in pre-season last season as well. So I'm hoping it's it's sort of the same case this year where even pre-season doesn't matter and we can kick on and get a good result.
Yeah. So last time this fixture was played, these 5 people will remember, and they are all staring at you now, looking to see how many goalkeepers you're going to bring with you, because you actually played with 2 goalkeepers, didn't you, in this fixture last year? Kipre decided that he was going to play in goal for a second, and it was missed by everyone. You got away with that one, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, they'll be glad to know he's in France now. So 2 goalkeepers might not be the case this time around.
Okay. I mean, how have you done in pre-season? Obviously, financially, West Brom seem to be in a bit of difficulty, but are you looking good on the pitch, even if off the pitch it's a bit of worry for the fans?
Performance-wise, I think it's just a typical pre-season, sort of run-of-the-mill, what you expect. But results-wise, no. I mean, the last one we got battered by Blues, and that's just disappointing. From whichever way you look at it, I mean, you can't expect to lose to Blues, especially in how people and the media put it as a big game or a rivalry. But it's just disappointing, regardless. I mean, other than that, we haven't looked too bad. I mean, we played Mallorca, where there was a bit of a mishap in the game, which I think overshadowed the actual game itself. But I mean, as I said, performance-wise, we haven't looked too bad. I mean, it's typical Albion. It's pretty much the same as it was last year, I think.
Do you think this will be an improved QPR then? Where would you put QPR as an outside fan, listening to what you've just listened to and knowing what you know about them?
Well, I mean, I think QPR and Albion have the same sort of similar situation where the manager is their best asset by a country mile. I mean, they've got a few good players. I mean, to name, Ilias Share and Sam Field, obviously former Albion players. So obviously, always a good word about him to say. But I mean, I don't know much about the rest of their squad. Obviously, they've had a few outgoings as well with Armstrong, giving them a bit of money to play with. But I don't know if it'll be too good of a season for them. Obviously, Marty, he's got a few tricks up his sleeve, as we saw last year, as he pulled them from the depths of hell into a respectable finish, all things considered. But I'd go with a good maybe 14th, 15th. I think that's, if I'm being honest, really.
Okay, Michael, can I ask you for your views about this particular game? Then is this a 3 points, or would you take a point now?
I think obviously we've got to be looking to hit the ground running against West Brom. I hope Sam Field has his shooting boots on, as he always seems to pop up with a goal against them. But I think overall, I can see us being hard to break down, as shown against Brighton. Obviously, we conceded a penalty, but I felt like our goalkeeper looks good in pre-season, looks good against Tottenham, and he looks good against Brighton. So I can see it kind of being kind of a 0-0, or not many goals in the game, but I'm hoping we nick something.
Oh, good. Thanks for that, Michael. I was worried I'd have too much choice of TV to watch on Saturday, so I'll give this one a miss and watch Norwich against Oxford instead. Let's get some predictions then. Aaron, you can go first.
Well, I'd like to think we'd rock up a bit better than 4-0, but I mean, if I'm being realistic, I can't see more than a 1-1 draw, if I'm honest.
Okay. Jawad, go on. You were pretty good at this last season. You got some of them spot on.
I don't think I predicted one victory until possibly the last game of the season.
That's why you got them all right.
Oh, right, yeah, exactly. I agree with what Michael said. I think it's going to be a tight game. It doesn't look like Ilias Chair is going to be fit, so I don't think we'll create much. But Cook and Clark-Salter have looked solid in the friendlies I've seen. So I think I'll go a sneaky 1-0 win with a late goal from a substitute.
Okay, fair dues. A handball on the line. Knock it in with a hand, just as a revenge.
Handballed in, yeah.
All right, cheers, Aaron, for joining us. We'll catch up with you as the season progresses. Time for you lot to rate your kits. Hashtag rate my take. We're going to ask you to comment on lots of different takes that QPR fans put out there over the season, whether you agree with them or not. So let's start with the home kit. Connor, if we ask for your view on this one, the tweet we're asking you to comment on is, I really like this kit. Very pleasing on the eye. Wish they'd gone for a darker blue around the collar. Do you like this one?
Yeah and no. I think it's got traditional blue hoops. It's different shades of blue. I do like that. I think it's quite. I mean, with hoops, you can change the size of them and whatever. And we've had red in our home kits before and whatever. But it's just a bog standard hoop kit for me. It's nothing special. All that matters is the players that are in it, and we win in it. That is the most important thing for me. So if they do that, then I love that kit even more.
Okay, fair dues. CJ, I'll let you take the away kit. I quite like this one myself as a neutral. It's
I'm a big fan of the black and gold kits.
Yeah,
as you can see. This one's on the way. I love it, if I'm honest. I think the black and gold contrast looks nice. My only issue with all three kits is the huge betted logo in the middle, but that's another issue.
Absolutely, yeah. The Burnley fans have got the same issue, a massive betting logo ruining the shirt. Charlie, what about the third shirt?
Yeah, I'm not really sure about it because I mean it's a little bit boring. Just there is that there's a sort of pattern in there which is a throwback to one of our older badges, which I don't know if that fits that well, but I don't know. I think it's all right. Nothing special. Bit boring in my opinion.
Okay. All right then. Well, good luck for this weekend. Before I let you all go, I'm going to ask you all some very quick fire predictions for this coming championship season. Michael, we'll start with you. Obvious one first. Where are QPR going to finish?
I think we finish 8th, to be honest. I think it's optimistic, but I think when we get Chair back, I think we'll.
Yeah, we love optimism. Bring it on. Jawad.
I think if Salah hits the ground running, top half. If we struggle for goals, maybe between 12th and 15th.
Okay, still fence sitting, as I say. Good. Connor?
I agree with Michael. I think 8th.
Well, good. I love this. CJ?
10th. Meet the middle.
Charlie, you get the deciding vote on this.
I'm going to be more pessimistic. I was going to say around like 15th. I just think without, I mean, there's a real over reliance on Chair. Without him, there's a real lack of creativity.
Okay.
So I'm not very optimistic.
Okay. You should be you can't be so young and so pessimistic.
I don't know, man. It's tough.
You've not lived a hard yard.
In my years of supporting QPR, I think I've seen us finish in the top half of the table twice or something ridiculous.
Fair dues. Okay. All right then. Who's winning it? Very quickly, Jawad.
I'll go Burnley, I think.
Connor.
Middlesbrough.
CJ.
Luton.
Charlie.
I'm going to go Leeds.
And Michael?
Burnley.
And finally, I'm going to give you all a 6-0 win at any ground, any point in the season. I'd like you to tell me who it's against and at which ground. Connor, you can start this one.
I would love to smash Luton 6-0 at home.
Okay. They actually said the same about you, actually, so that's fair. CJ?
Luton.
Charlie?
I'd say Watford. I hate Watford.
Okay. Michael?
Cardiff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Joad?
I was going to say Luton, but I enjoyed that Leeds 4-0 so much last season. It'd be amazing to beat them 6-0.
Yeah, that was the fixture that changed everything, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
sent you on your way, and it sent them. Well, they're still here because of you, I think. Right. Thank you very much. It's really exciting to have all of you here discussing this each week. Hopefully, you'll be smiling as much as we go through the season. If you're a QPR fan, please comment below where do you think QPR are going to finish. Don't forget to like and obviously subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Follow all these guys on Twitter. We'll get all the Twitter handles in the comments for you. And thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Cheers.